Hello everyone, this is John, your host on the Prepared Mind channel. I haven't done a driving video with you guys in a long time, and I thought today would be an ideal day to do it. It's a beautiful, snowy, extreme Northern California day. All right, what's the message of the day? Gun control. But I want to talk about it not from the perspective of is it right, is it wrong, because we know the answer. You and I both know the answer. Gun control, stupid. Gun control, bad. I want to start, though, by saying that Trump is doing something. And I'm going to be really bent out of shape if he is actually going to allow gun control to take place. Now, what he did yesterday was he had Fine Swine and a couple other scumbags, and they had a meeting, and everyone was all chummy and smiles. Feinstein, she looked like she was 20 years younger and not a witch. She looked pleasant. She was smiling and happy, sitting there across from Trump working on something. And when I kind of read what they were talking about, it kind of looked like Trump was capitulating to Democrat demands that we have some sort of gun control. And then this morning, Trump tweets out, respect the Second Amendment. That was part of his tweet. I was like, you know, he fucking rope-a-doped them again, right? He's playing them. Now, if he's playing me, right, we still exist as red-blooded Americans with the, from my cold dead fingers perspective. You're just not gonna get them, right? And maybe he realizes that. And there's an issue here, though. The issue is my nose itches. The issue is that generation is dying. Now, I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about the generation of gun control advocates. They're dying. They're getting old. They're fucking dinosaurs. These liberal scumbag progressives from way back. Like Feinstein's been fighting against guns since the 80s. So is Chuck Schumer. Right? So is Bernard Sanders. All of those clowns. They're old. They're fossils now. And they actually haven't gotten anywhere. In all truth, they haven't gotten anywhere. Think about it. They got the assault weapons ban in the 90s. It sunsetted, came up, and went back, and they're not getting it back. They've actually lost ground. They did the magazine capacity prop things in New York, and of course California, we've got our own issues. But nationally, and for the most part, we've actually gotten more of our rights recognized. The McDonald case is the one I'm pointing to, Supreme Court decision. It's recognized that we have a right to defend ourselves. My not gun control, shit. My concealed weapons permit is good, right? I've got 2 of them, and they're good for a total of 39 states. That ain't too bad. They didn't have that available 20 years ago, 30 years ago when Fine Swine started her shit. What does that tell us? What it tells me is our rights are being expanded or recognized on a ever-expanding and widening basis. All of these actions being taken, these false flag actions, these legislative actions trying to get rid of guns, they're not succeeding. And so I think we're now going to the next phase. See, Feinstein, she could die. She could like choke on a chicken bone tonight. Same with Chuck Schumer, same with everybody. But with this Parkland thing, this Parkland shooting in Florida, they are developing an entire new crop of anti-gun idiots. And they're starting with the tail end of the millennial generation. The tail end of them. This is the culmination. This is the culmination of the trophy generation, the wah, the we all are winners generation, the don't pick on me, hold my hand, take care of me, I'm a big sissy generation. I'm not saying all millennials are that way, but that's what the millennials are known for. Gen Xers, which is my generation, we were known for other things. Probably for being whiners or something, I don't know. Anyways, they are now cultivating the next crop of political dissidents that are going to be progressive or communist in nature. We're seeing them come out of college right now big time. These Antifa pricks is what I like to call them. They're coming out of college. They're totally indoctrinated in feminist horseshit, communist crap, right? If it's coming out of the back end of an organic creature, it belongs to the Democrat Party, and that's what this is. But these gun control kids, they're trying to get kids to realize and think and look at guns in a negative way, like they've never done before. And they're trying to make these kids feel like they're politically empowered. And they're going to be the next generation of Feinsteins and Schumers and Clintons. Oh my God, Hillary Clinton is one of the most anti-gun people. But have you noticed that that bitch has kept her face hidden? She is not in the public limelight. You do not see Hillary Clinton all over the place. She's in hot water, folks. I can't wait to see her wearing the nice stainless steel bracelets. God, I hope she gets it. What a present for the world if she gets arrested. Woo! Okay, so back to gun control. These kids are going to be the next wave of anti-gunners. They're definitely socialist communists. They believe that what they have to say as inexperienced, young, ignorant fools is more important than what you have to say with all of your life's experience and an actual education where they taught you not only what the Constitution was, but why it was written the way it was written. So that's what's important to understand here. I don't think these little Parkland creeps, and they're fucking creeps, and they're plants. They're CIA, FBI, stooge plants. I mean, there's that much information pointing to them as being put there for this event so they can be foisted up on a political pedestal so that they can wake up the next generation of socialists and make them feel like it's their torch to carry, this anti-gun torch. I mean, I don't know if you remember James Brady. He was one of the Secret Servicemen that guarded Reagan. When Reagan got shot in that conspiracy to have him killed, yes, there was a conspiracy surrounding that. It's interesting to look into, right? He got shot, Brady did, and they came out with the Brady Bill. And that may have been what the assault weapons ban was about. I think it might have been called the Brady Bill. Anyways, the Brady Bill, they wanted to outlaw guns. Just like that, because some whacked out screwball decided to take illegal course of action, not only just shooting people, carrying a gun illegally concealed, trying to kill the president. I mean, what a fucking douche. But the important thing is they use that to make hay for the next 10, 15 years. It didn't work, thankfully. We have our rights. We have our rights. But I think they're fostering the next generation, and they're trying to make them feel empowered. Here's why this is critically important at this point. This is why we cannot lose Parkland. You see, if these kids come out of high school and college thinking young people made a difference and got gun legislation passed, that's going to fuel their little gas tanks. It's going to fill them up for the rest of their lives, because they're going to remember, oh yeah, I was 19 and kids came out and said we wanted guns taken off the streets, and we passed legislation, and they're going to always remember that as their first experience and one in which they were successful. The reason we need to fight gun control at this stage harder than ever is to demoralize the communists. That's what I'm saying here. We need to demoralize the next generation of anti-gun socialists and communists, because that's what they are. The good news is because they're little communist pricks, they're lazy, they're stupid, they're ineffective, they're actually, in my opinion, they're not charismatic at all. I mean, I can sit here and I could give you 30 different profane words in a row, and people are going to tell me how charismatic and cool I am. These little communists, they're assholes from the word go. They're not interesting, they're not fun to follow, but they're communists. Anyways, we need to demoralize them by winning this round. No legislation at all. And if you noticed back when Barack Obama was president, I'm sorry, let me use his correct name. Barack Barry Soetoro Hussein Obama, the communist Muslim president illegal of the United States. He actually, after I think it was the Sandy Hook shooting, he came out with the legislation where he had kids at his desk. He politicized children. He, what do they call it when you take advantage of somebody who's underage? Exploited, yeah, exploited. Remember that, Barack? He exploited children politically for gun control purposes by signing his executive orders, which had no power whatsoever. And it's important to understand Trump's strategy of fucking with the Democrats, but he really has no power. Trump has no power to remove any guns or anything at all. He can sign executive orders all day long about guns and they don't matter. I know he's not doing that, or at least I don't think he is. But we need to, as Americans, we need to get a hold of our congressmen and keep reminding them. The Second Amendment is there in case they get out of hand. We're not going to give our guns up, period. So don't even try to take them. Don't try and incrementally fuck with us, in other words. We are on to the game. But we need to hand the anti-gunners a defeat right now so that they grow up the rest of the way into their adulthood knowing that they're fucking losers. That's right, they're losers. They need to be reminded of it now and the rest of their life. The same way Feinstein, she got some shit passed in California and San Francisco and made stuff illegal. Guess what, bitch? I can go carry my guns concealed in San Francisco and no policeman can stop me because of my concealed weapons permit. It trumps any San Francisco rule. They can suck it, right? But she used to have the ability to make guns illegal in San Francisco until we've gotten our rights recognized. We need to defeat these little pricks right now. And I'm calling them little pricks because that's what I think of them. I don't give a shit if they were part. One second. I don't give a shit if they were part of the classroom that was being shot up and they survived. Once you've been shot at and stabbed at or attempted murder or had the shit beat out of you, that doesn't make you a more important voice. That doesn't make you more important. It doesn't make what you say mean anything more than anyone else. Just like it doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. You have rights. Just because you serve the country or you're a cop or you're some special acknowledged class of person, and we'll even throw the victims in that as well, right? These kids are victims. I don't give a fuck. What they have to say isn't more important than what I have to say. My rights are not less important than theirs. And if they're communists, I actually think they have half a soul or less. And I don't give a fuck. I am sick and tired of people claiming victim status and then wanting what they want and preempting my rights. No more of that shit. No more at all. But that's where I'm going with this. This is about handing those kids a defeat right now. I want them to go home with their heads hung in shame. And it is my opinion that Trump is dallying along. He's rope-a-doping the Democrats. He's making them feel good and giving them some words, and then he's handing them a shit sandwich and saying, hey, why don't you take a bite of that? It's fresh, right? When he keeps doing it to him and he keeps pissing off, Second Amendment Americans, he's scaring us. So I mean, sitting down at a table with Dianne Feinstein, that's scary business, right? That's Wicked Witch too, right there. And she even looks like the broad from Wizard of Oz. She looks like a scary witch. She does. What's important to remember though is that Trump has not given up. He has not quit. He has not just signed shit over. I do not like the fact that he wants to spend a bunch of money. I don't like his policy there. But, you know, he got Obamacare, he got a bunch of things turned around. He hasn't capitulated to this gun thing, not to my knowledge. But he keeps sucking everyone in and then fucking with them. I totally approve of that. And he has no real power anyways until legislation is signed. So what's he doing? He's stringing along the Democrats. Let's sit down and talk to him, pretend like he's cooperative. He's stringing them along. Every day we get further away from Parkland, as in time. Trump knows Americans in general have short-term memory loss. Usually from one meal to the next, they forget what it was they cared about. How critical is that in getting people to forget about Parkland and let it become as far away as Columbine? That's what needs to be understood here, is he is just stringing them along. Nothing's going to happen. And these little communist bastards, they need to go away and shut the fuck up. They're just kids, and I don't care what kids think. Right? Unless a kid says something intelligent like, the Constitution is important and the Bill of Rights was put in place to help limit and remind the federal government of its position, its relation to people, and the importance of our rights over its attempt to get rid of them. If I hear an 18-year-old kid say that, I'm going to go, hey, that kid understands history, understands law, and is off to a really good start in life. That's a great foundation from which to live. But all of these little dumbasses that don't know shit, they need to be stopped now and made to feel helpless and powerless. Not to me, not to criminals. They need to feel hopeless and powerless to the power of the Constitution and the sanctity of those documents. Those documents that guarantee our freedoms. Those kids need to understand that our freedoms preempt their claims that they need to feel secure. I don't fucking feel safe because I have people passing laws to make me happy. Right? Every time they pass a law, I actually feel less safe. The less government intrusion in my life, the safer I feel. It's the exact opposite. Because the less government interference with my right to self-preservation, the more I know I am allowed, permitted, it is understood, it is recognized, and my rights are sovereign, the more safe I feel, because I feel more inclined to protect myself rather than hesitate. And I know that if I'm threatened physically and it's life-threatening, I will not hesitate to protect myself. But I'll certainly feel better about it knowing the government is aware of my rights. That McDonald case, beautiful stuff. I feel more inclined than ever, right, to say no way to gun control, right? I feel good about what I've got going. And that's something else I want to remind everyone. Things actually used to be worse than they are today. We're getting closer to shit hitting the fan, yes. I have no doubts about that. We're definitely closer to shit hitting the fan, but our gun rights are in better shape than ever. We need to maintain it. We need to protect it. We need to not give an inch. Capitulation is for the weak of mind and the weak of soul. Anyways, it's an incredible important subject, and I wanted to once again put my opinion out there. I think Trump is fucking with the Democrats. I don't think he is pro-gun control. I don't think he's going to give in. But the fight isn't Trump's. The fight is in the House of Representatives, and the fight is in the Senate. Trump can't do anything without legislation on his desk. So don't worry about Trump. Call your congressman. Call your senator. That is what is most important. And understanding that these little pricks, this next generation, they need to be stumped now so that the rest of their lives they feel bad about themselves for being little communists who didn't get their way. Remember, they're the me generation, the millennials. Right? They're the me first and me and I'm important and listen to me. Forget it, you little pricks. Right? They need to be told no. Right? They can vote when they're 18, but they don't get a louder voice than me. Their life isn't more important than mine. I'm not more important than them either. Right? But they're certainly not more important than mine. Holy shit. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. Call your congressman. If you need anything associated with self-defense, go to the preparedmind.club, right? We should have links to, I think it's 1-800-GUNS and Ammo there. Click on that. Get some really good discounted ammunition, high-capacity magazines. Everything that's available to buy, you can get there. And it'll help support this channel, right? Best prices anywhere. Help support this channel, the Prepared Mind channel. Thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you soon. And I think we're going to have an interesting weekly wrap-up discussion. So I'll see you then. But for now, chance favors the Prepared Mind. All right, Godspeed to you all. Bye-bye.